Good morning, students. Today we will again solve some numerical problems from chapter 5 electromagnetic induction and alternating currents. So this is a problem in the textbook. The alternating current in the primary coil of a transformer is shown in the graph below. Resistance of the secondary coil is 17.5 ohms. Find the value of electric current at time 7.5 T by 4. What measure is to be taken to get power of 140 watts in the secondary coil of the transformer? So first let us solve question number A. The value of electric current at time 7.5 T by 4. We know that the current, alternating current, can be represented by the equation I is equal to I naught sine omega t. Here the initial phase is 0, so we need not write plus 5. The peak value of current I naught is given in the graph, so we can put it as equal to 2 ampere times sine. We know that omega is equal to 2 pi by t. So, I am substituting instead of omega 2 pi by t. Also given in the question, t is equal to 7.5 t by 4. So, I am putting here instead of t 7.5 t by 4. So, I will get t gets cancelled, 2 with 4 gets cancelled, so 7.5 pi by 2. So this is equal to 2 sine 7.5 pi by 2. Here you can directly use the radians mode of your calculator and find the value, or you can substitute instead of pi 180 degree. Pi radians is equal to 180 degree. Then you will get it as equal to 2 sine 7.5 into 180 divided by 2. So when you use the calculator with degree mode, you can do like this, or if it is in radian mode, you can directly use this and you will get the final answer is equal to minus 1.41 ampere. The minus sign comes because sign of this value turns out to be negative. So this is how to solve A part. I think that is simple. Now let us consider the B part of the question. What measure is to be taken to get power of 140 watts in the secondary coil of the transformer? So the power which is required in the secondary is 140 watts. We know that for a transformer there is a primary and a secondary. Primary coil and a secondary coil. Here we assume that all the power which is given in the primary will go to the secondary, because it is not mentioned here about any power loss. So let us assume what is the power. Power is equal to current into voltage. And here we have to consider the RMS value of current and voltage since we are dealing with AC. So here we assume that all the power given in the primary goes to the secondary. Okay, so here I will assume the power which is required in the secondary, that is 140 watts, as the same as the power in primary. So I can say that the power is equal to IP times, we have no idea about the EMF at primary. So let us use the expression, the voltage is equal to current times resistance. So I can write EP as equal to current in primary times resistance in primary. So I will get here power is equal to I square Rp. This is the current in primary. Since it is AC, I have to consider the RMS value. So here I have taken the current in primary as the RMS value of current in primary. Again, we know that RMS value of current is equal to peak value of current divided by root 2. So let me substitute that for RMS value here. So this will become power is equal to I naught square divided by root 2 square is 2 times Rp. Here the question is what should be done to get 140 watts power in the secondary, or power in the primary also will be equal to 140 watts. So for P we can substitute here 140 watts. And we also know the peak value of current in primary from the graph. So the only unknown quantity will be Rp, resistance of the primary. So here 140 watts is equal to 2 square divided by 2 into Rp. So 1, 2 gets cancelled, or we can write here what is Rp? Resistance in the primary. Rp is equal to 140 divided by 2. What is that? 70. So 70 ohms resistance should be connected in the primary in order to get a power of 140 watts in the secondary coil of the transformer. So you have to write the answer is, the measure to be taken is, we have to use a coil of resistance 70 ohms in the primary. So that's all about this question. Let us see the next one. This is another question from textbook. It states that the amplitude of an AC source is 220 volt and frequency is 50 Hz. An electric room heater of 1000 ohms resistance is connected with it. Afterwards, the heater is connected with 220 volt DC source. Find the equation of alternating EMF of the stem. With which connection the heater is more effective? So let us first consider question A. Find the equation of alternating EMF. How can we represent alternating EMF? We can write it as E is equal to E naught sine omega t. Let us see whether we can express E naught and omega. What is E naught? The peak value of EMF or the amplitude of EMF. The amplitude of an AC source is 220 volt. So they have given E naught is equal to 220 volt. What else is given? Frequency is 50 Hz. So frequency F is equal to 50 Hz. It is given. But we know that omega is equal to 2 pi by t, and 1 by t is frequency. So I can write it as equal to 2 pi f. Instead of t, I am writing 1 by t, I am writing f. So we can substitute for f 50. So omega will be equal to 2 pi into 50. 2 into 50 will be 100. So 100 pi. I can put all these values here. So the EMF will become E is equal to, instead of E naught, I can write 220 volt sine. Instead of omega, I can write 100 pi. 100 pi into t. So this is the expression. So this is the solution for question A. Find the equation of the alternating EMF. So this is the equation for alternating EMF of the given situation. So that is it for question number A. Now let us consider question number B. With which connection the heater is more effective. So the heater is connected to a AC source first. Afterwards, the heater is connected with 220 volt DC source. So what is the amount of heat produced per second? The total heat produced is equal to I square RT, or the amount of heat produced per second, which we express as the power, is equal to I square by R, I square R. Now if it is DC, we can directly use the value of I or voltage, and if you are given AC, you have to take the RMS value. So let us first consider AC source. For AC source, the power will be equal to, we have to take the RMS value. So I RMS square times R. Is I RMS or I given? No. The amplitude of AC source is 220 volts. This is the peak value of voltage. That is E naught is equal to 220 volt. That is given. So we can find E RMS, which is equal to 220 divided by root 2. Okay. So how will I express I RMS? We know that current is equal to voltage divided by resistance. So I can write I RMS as equal to E RMS divided by resistance. So let me put these values here. So this is equal to, instead of I RMS square, I am putting E RMS square by resistance square. So E RMS square divided by R square times R. So 1 R gets cancelled. So what is remaining? E RMS square by R. So for E RMS, I am putting this value. So the power for a AC is equal to, instead of E RMS, I have 220 square divided by root 2 square. So it will be 2 times R. Is the resistance given? Yeah, electric room heater of 1000 ohm resistance. So the resistance R is given. So I'll put that is equal to 1000, because 1 R cancels with the numerator. So the AC source, if you are using AC source, the power is equal to, if you calculate this, you will get a value 24.2 watts. So that is the power which is converted to heat per second when we use a AC source. Now let us find what will be the power when we use a DC source. So for DC source, power is equal to I square R. Again, we don't know the current. What is given is DC voltage. So I can write that current is equal to voltage divided by resistance. So instead of I am going to write V by R. So we will get V square by R square times R. 1 R gets cancelled. This is equal to 220 the whole square divided by R, which is 1000, equal to, anyway from here itself we can get that 1 from AC, it becomes by 2. There is a by 2 here. Here you don't have by 2. So you will get the value as equal to 48.4 watts. Which is higher? This is higher, right? So when you use a DC source, the heater will be more effective. So you have to tell that if you are using a DC source, more power gets converted to heat. So the heater will be more effective than when we use a AC source. So that's all about this question. Let us see the next one. Okay, let's see the next question. This is also from the textbook. I is equal to 40 sine omega t is the equation of an alternating current in the figure given below. Okay, this is an alternating current. Find the RMS value of the alternating current. Is the value of alternating current equal to the peak value when t is equal to 3t by 4? So the first question is straightforward. We just have to find the RMS value of alternating current. We know that the RMS value of current is equal to peak value divided by root 2. Now, from where will we get the peak value? It's not mentioned in the graph, but seeing the equation which is comparable with the equation of current, I is equal to I naught sine omega t, we can know that I naught is equal to 40. So from here we can tell that I naught is equal to 40 from the equation given. So we can find the RMS value of current as equal to 40 divided by root 2. What is 40 divided by root 2? You can use your calculator to find it. You will get the value as 28.28 amperes. So that's all about question A part. Now let us see the question B. Is the value of alternating current equal to the peak value when t is equal to 3t by 4? So let us check that the value of current. So we have to put the value of current as I is equal to I naught sine omega t. And for I naught we can give the peak value 40. Now we need to find the value of omega, and t we have to put this one. So omega, as you know, in terms of the time period is equal to 2 pi by t. And for t we will substitute 3t by 4. Let us see what happens. I is equal to 40 sine, instead of omega 2 pi by t, and instead of t 3t by 4. So t gets cancelled, 1 4 and 2 gets cancelled, so this will be the value. So I will be equal to 40 sine 3 pi by 2. Either you can use the radians mode of your calculator and calculate this directly, or you can substitute for pi 180 degree, because pi radians is equal to 180 degree, and use the calculator, or you will be knowing that 3 pi by 2 means 270 degree. So this is 270 degree, and what is sine 270? Sine 270 will be equal to minus 1. So you will get this as equal to minus 40 amperes. Is this value equal to the peak value? Yes, it is. The magnitude is equal. So you can say that yes, the value of alternating current will be equal to the peak value, but in the opposite direction, because it is negative. So that's all about the questions from textbook, and in the next video I will discuss some other questions in the suggestion book. Thank you.